In 1950, a silent film actress, but also was a stage actress named Lillian Gish, premiered in a play called The Curious Savage. And it is still going strong in this day and age with a new cast from the Ensemble, a group of actors who are putting this on here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Please welcome, we are welcoming Andrea, and also back for his encore performance, we have Corey Nathan. Welcome. And Andrea, your last name is Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Awesome. Let me turn this up a little bit. Now, go ahead and tell me a little bit about this play, The Curious Savage, and just give me a little bit of background on it and your involvement and why you kind of chose this play.
All right. It's a comedy, and it's just it's a lovely group of crazy people. And it's an enduring, and then I play Mrs. Savage, and my family puts me in the crazy house with all these lovely people, and my family turns out to probably be crazier than the the people in the home. So it's just a really delightful comedy, a lot of fun, and a lot of just different kind of people that just kind of warm your heart and fill your heart.
From the classic traditional sense of stage play, is it like a character-rich?
Yes.
Audience falls in love. Nothing bad to see. Just a straightforward comedy, but with kind of endearing the audience to all the characters, even the family who are the quote unquote probably antagonists, at least originally in this production. That's awesome. Now, what made you choose this play to produce and put on out here in the Santa Clarita Valley?
I actually saw it at our local college, Master's College, and just thought the kids did such a delightful production, and just I loved the whole thing. And I love comedy, so we've done a lot more serious pieces, and they have some comedy in them, but comedy is kind of where I'm more comfortable. So I kind of talked Corey into doing that for this production. So.
Well, and there is something to be said for comedies, especially depending upon someone's mindset going in, always, especially when you can make them laugh and take them out of their own seats metaphorically and into another place. It always is something that seems to endear to an audience member, even those, what I found, who may not be big on theater. Wives dragging their husbands the first time. It seems like comedies more than dramas is a good way to introduce someone who is not used to theater to be able to get into it. Corey, tell me, what was your motivation behind directing this play?
Well, I was deferring to. I'm kind of a theater snob. You know, I like Ibsen and Strindberg and Shakespeare and Tennessee Williams, and I trusted the several actors that we've been working together for 10, 11 years now. Prompted me and said, this is really worth doing, and it plays to our strengths as an ensemble. When I read the play, it was a really touching play that I thought would be entertaining for our audiences, but also strike some deeper chords.
Now you have a full cast here, including Andrea Rodriguez, who is with me, but also Arlene Valenzuela, Barbara Beckwith, Bob Schenk, Candace Hill, Sherilyn Hegg, Don Valentine, Emerson Nathan, it's a very good actor's name, Lori Healy, Monique Newman. Is this Monique who is joining us now? Hi. Pull up a microphone. Let's pull it right up to you there. And Natalie Hartel, I hope I'm pronouncing these names right, Pamela Chavez, and Ron Thompson. Monique, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're just we kind of got the background on this, and so tell me, since you had just joined us, who do you play in this production of The Curious Savage?
I get to play Fairy May, and Fairy May is a resident of the Cloisters, which is this elite home for those with mental challenges.
Well, at least your family's putting you in a nice home.
Oh, yes, the very best that money can buy.
Well, that's terrific. I want to talk a little bit about where this is going to be performed and the dates and times. It's going to be at the F Modular Theater at the Grace Baptist Church, which is a good place to put on any type of production. That's on Copper Hill Drive, obviously. Most of you who live out here know where that's at. That's up there in beautiful Sleepy Saugus, as I like to call it now. It opens this Friday, right?
Opens Fridays, and it plays Friday nights at 7 p.m., and then it's Saturdays at 1 p.m. for a matinee. And then we have Sunday the 5th, where we'll have a 4 o'clock performance, which would easily be followed by a nice 1950s dinner at Johnny Rockets or the Route 66 or Lily's Cafe locally. Since our play takes place in the 50s, it could just make a fun evening back in the 50s.
Indeed, it could. And then you've got an evening performance on Thursday, May 9th at 7 p.m. And then you close on May 10th is your closing performance, correct?
That's correct.
No, I'm sorry,
the
actually
11th.
the 11th.
Just before Mother's Day.
There we go.
so-
And it's always good to include not only evening performances, but also matinee performances, especially we have a lot of elderly people out here who like to go to plays, but they don't necessarily want to go out at night. So that works perfect. We're going to talk more about The Curious Savage and the Fathom Productions and the ensemble with Corey, Andrea, and Monique right after this. And we are back. This is 8:50, the time that is. And we are here with Corey, Nathan, and we have also Andrea Rodriguez and Monique Newman from Fathom Productions, also known as The Ensemble. I kind of like that. It's a very mysterious kind of feel to it. And we were talking about their play coming out here in the Santa Clarita Valley, performing at Grace Baptist Church, opening this Friday, called The Curious Savage. But I want to know about your company, Fathom Productions, and you've been together for how many years?
About 11 years.
And how did this come about? Just theater lovers decided to put something together, or was it something bigger than that? Or
Well, Corey kind of started it. I used to be an actress, and so had kids and
You're
quit
still
the
an
business.
actress.
Well, I still am an
Never
actress, but I
stop.
was a professional actress.
I see.
And I left the business when I had my family. So when Corey started it, I was so excited because I actually got to do what I loved, and it didn't completely take me away from my family. So, and then there was about maybe 15 of us that started, and there's probably about 6 of us that are still from the 10, 11 years ago.
Well, that's
then we
terrific.
kind
And you do plays everywhere,
We've
not only
done
here, but also all over.
We've done a couple down in Hollywood at a theater, and that was really fun. And we do a lot at Grace Baptist, but we've done Shakespeare and
Yeah.
all-
Tennessee Williams.
Tennessee Williams.
Corey's pretty humble about his training, but he came with a rich toolbox from training in New York. You could talk about that.
Right,
And
right.
shared it with all of us, and it's been an amazing journey.
There was a pastor at Grace who said, "Oh, well, we need somebody to head up our drama ministry." And to be perfectly honest, I thought, what could be worse than community theater? Church theater. Sorry. But what we did, in all seriousness, I said, well, if I was gonna do it, I'd want to do nothing but train the actors for a year, thinking that he'd say, no, we could never. And he said yes, and I said, oh, God, I guess we're gonna do it.
There you go.
So we trained together for a year, and there were some very experienced actors and some that were fairly new. But what that year did was we were able to develop the same language. We were able to start looking in the same direction for what our objectives were, what we wanted to do, who we wanted to be as an ensemble, and the kinds of material that we wanted to do. And over the years, we've done some great stuff, short films and great plays, some great literature that we've done, and a number of different venues. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, there's something to be said about theater, and you talked about, Andrea, you talked about being a quote-unquote professional actress. Now, I mean quote-unquote because it's not really, I mean, if you go over the hill and you're doing film or you're doing even like they call like featured, what used to be called 5 and Under, something like that, you're spending all day, and there's really little acting to it when you go out there. I mean, I've done film work too, and it's like you wait around all day, you go out there, you run through your lines a few times, and then you shoot it, and then you shoot it again, this direction. By the time you're done, you're like bored to tears.
True.
It's like, just get me out of here. And when you do live theater, it's such a different experience. And even though in some cases, like, forget the money, I'd just rather go out there and do that. I have a friend who does background work and stand-in work and stuff like that, and she says if you want to be an actor, do theater, even though you're not going to make any money out here. But if you want to work, be prepared to get up at 3:30 in the morning and travel all over the place. And there's very little acting to it, which is very true. And there's something about that passion that actors have to continually do it in practicing and perfecting their craft, and also giving back to the community, because there's a something that in live theater that triggers the mind, and I always say it moves society forward, even just that much, that doesn't happen in any other medium. Do you guys think that's...
Yeah, what we say is, we refer to a Glenn Close quote, something about disturbing the molecules, and what we'd like to do, we'd like to affect a change in some way. If nothing else, we want to engage today's culture in conversations that count. And you're absolutely right. when you do this sort of thing, it's a constantly humbling process. So my snobbery 10, 12 years ago about community theater or doing something at a church, I've come to really value that there's a moral imperative of doing things locally with your own community.
Indeed, and that's very true. So this, again, we've been talking with Corey Nathan. We've been talking with Andrea Rodriguez and Monique Newman. They are going to be in the upcoming production called The Curious Savage, opening this Friday at the F Modular Theater in Grace Baptist Church. And The Curious Savage is a warm-hearted tale and very exciting. Where can they get tickets?
Just come to the door, and it's a donation of $10 a person, and it's kind of, by faith.
And you can also, for more information, you also call Monique.
Correct.
At 259-1129. Thank you so much for coming out. I wish you the best of luck. Break a leg on your production, and good luck.
Thanks,
Thank you
George.
so much.
Time is 8:55. We'll be back with another look at traffic after this.